The carbon cycle is like this. Something produces carbon. For example, you can make a fire, and that fire will produce carbon that we will attach to some oxygen molecules and produce a gas called carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide will integrate to the atmosphere, and plants that are the primary producers, they produce photosynthesis, and through it they absorb the carbon dioxide again, and they spools the oxygen of the carbon dioxide, but they actually absorb the carbon of the carbon dioxide, and now that carbon is part of the plant. When the plant dies, the carbon from which this plant was made will infiltrate into the soil, and now will be part of the earth, and maybe this carbon will eventually integrate to another living organism, or it will turn into something that naturally forms but that is like a fossil fuel, like coal or things of that kind, after millions of years through the fossilization. And this carbon will eventually uh, be used by the cycle itself, but in another thing, because the original plant died, and the original place from which this carbon came from, that was our hypothetical fire, was already extinguished, right? But then something else absorbs it, and the cycle starts again.
The carbon cycle is very important on our planet because carbon is a common element and every being known on Earth have this. Even us, humans, are made up of carbon and is basically a very important part of life on Earth. There's also organic and inorganic carbon, which I'll be explaining next. Organic carbon is every carbon molecule or atom found in organisms, living organisms, here on Earth. A little bunny is made up of carbon, a big elephant is made up of carbon, and a little bird or fish are made up of carbon. Inorganic carbon is carbon molecules found on non-living things such as rocks, sediments, or coal. These non-living things obtain their carbon mostly from the ground, since they come from big mountains or from the sea. Thanks to carbon, us humans we can exist. Without it, our body will not be the same as it is now. So remember to keep breathing, people, since breathing basically takes some certain amount of carbon dioxide from our bodies to the outside. So plants can take it in and give us oxygen back. And also eat your veggies, because why not? You need to stay healthy to stay alive.
So we can finish saying that the carbon dioxide is very important in our daily lives because everything is made up about carbon almost, and it's also found in all the parts of the earth, since the settlements, the hydrosphere, and it could also be found in the lithosphere. And in few words, we can say that the carbon is important to the develop of life and or in human life.